Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining this week's Stay Connected webinar. We are very excited to have the presenters from Extension here with us today. We have Beth, Nacke, and Mariah Newmeyer, and they are going to talk about Marathon Kids. So I'm going to let them go ahead and take it away. Thanks, everyone, for joining.
Thanks, Kim. Mariah, I'm going to let you go ahead and.
Okay, awesome. Well, we'll just do quick introductions. I'm Mariah Newmeyer, and I'm a food nutrition and health educator for Nebraska Extension, and I'm located in Hamilton County, so my office is in Aurora.
And I am Beth Nacke. I'm also a food nutrition and health educator. I'm in Dodge County, so my office is in Fremont.
Awesome. And we just wanted to highlight that there are 4 of us that coordinate the Nebraska Extension Marathon Kids program, which is what we're going to talk to you about today. So some of you may know, because we have been on Stay Connected before, but Marathon Kids is a national running program designed to motivate kids by utilizing running logs, boost their activity, and introduce them to the joy of running. And so Nebraska Extension, we started working on this Marathon Kids in 2018 by implementing in-person run clubs. And then when COVID forced schools to transition to virtual learning in 2020, we responded by launching a virtual running program to help families at home stay active. And just a reminder, Marathon Kids is inclusive of anyone who wants to participate at any ability level. It's not just about running. It's all about getting you active, no matter what that looks like. So all heart pumping activity counts towards mileage. In this image on the screen, so for example, like 20 minutes of a tag game. I'm not sure if you'd play tag for that long, but for our example, 20 minutes of a tag game would equal 1 mile for Marathon Kids.
And like Mariah said, we were on Get Connected in May of 2021. And so when we were on presenting at that time, we were talking about our virtual program, and we had 112 active runners at that time, and they had run about 558 miles. So we just wanted to share with you where that ended. That summer program ended in July of 2021. And so by the time we were done running, we had 228 active runners, and they ran over 17,000 miles, which, as you can see on this image, is from Nebraska to New Zealand, which is 3/4 of the way around the world. So we've gained a lot of interest with Marathon Kids, and during that fall of 2021, schools were starting to open up again, and we were able to resume kind of somewhat of a normal lifestyle again. So we transitioned a bit with that Marathon Kids virtual program, as we were able to do more of our in-person programs. So this is just a quick image, I get images of what some of those in-person clubs look like. Sorry, Mariah.
You're okay. So as Marathon Kids continue to grow, not only were we attracting youth to be active, but we were also gaining interest from adults. So if you want to move to the next slide, that's what led us to implementing community coach trainings, where we empowered community members to be Marathon Kids coaches. So this past spring and summer, we hosted 5 trainings across the state, and we trained 25 teachers, after-school directors, health department staff, and other community members to be able to implement Nebraska Extension Marathon Kids in their own communities. And we have one of our very own community coaches with us on today. So Alana from Oakland Craig took one of our trainings, and she offered to share with you her experience of Nebraska Extension Marathon Kids. So Alana, if you want to jump on.
Sure, thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I'll just share a little bit about our experience with Marathon Kids. One of our extension staff from Washington County, her name is Jordan Luxa, and she comes to our school and teaches health and nutrition. She does some cooking clubs with kids. One of the things she did last year was Marathon Kids. And so she completely led that for us. So we were really able to learn what it was about through her coming to our school. So then in the spring, she offered this training that you just talked about, the coach trainings. And then myself and one other staff took the training and learned a lot more through it than what we saw at our school through Jordan. And then, so last year, Jordan worked primarily with our 2nd and 3rd grade group with Marathon Kids. They actually used the logs to take home. You know, depending on the student, some came back, some didn't. My son was in it and he like really thrived on those logs. Like he loved going home and running so that he can track his mileage at home, because he needs to win at everything. He's just that type of kid. And so he really put a lot into it, whereas some kids didn't really care so much about that. This year, we are leading this with our kindergarten through 2nd grade group right now, and we're not using the logs. They're just scanning their badges, which they absolutely love. Scanning their badges helps them keep them engaged, I think, because it's really a competition. They see it as a competition, not just running, but they see it. They want to get to that marathon. So kind of how we run it is we use an iPad or an iPhone, whichever staff is leading it. We start out the day by going through our leaderboard. So every week I go onto the Marathon Kids website and I download the leaderboard and it shows every student's mileage. I have this, it's this poster of a track. Somebody sent it to me, I don't know who it was, that we were able to put on a bulletin board in our commons, like in our lunchroom. And then I made like little laminated pictures of all the students of just their headshot that they take at school. And then I kind of put based on where they're at and how far they're in the track, it's a good visual for them to see where they're at and what they're going towards. So, but the badges, just scanning the badges is highly motivating for them. And I think kids seem to really like it. So, yeah, anything else? Do you have any questions? You want me to share anything else?
That was great.
Okay. Yeah. And I just want to say too, like, it's hard finding staff and after school programs to lead things. And so this is really easy to lead. I'm going to have one of our high school seniors lead it our next quarter. It's going to be really easy to train her. And it's just so easy to lead. That's what I love about it too.
Yay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing.
Mhm.
Fantastic. Yes. And I have one more slide here. I'm kind of excited to show you guys this because this is kind of our progress since we've on the coaches side of things, since we've last spoke with you all. But what Alana kind of alluded to at the beginning, the great thing about being a Nebraska Extension Marathon Kids coach is that our Nebraska Extension team is with you every step of the way. Alana has Jordan to fall back on and bounce ideas off of, or really any one of us on the leadership team. We're more than willing to help you get set up with your Marathon Kids program and help along the way. So I think this is just a cool visual of our reach as coaches. So this map shows where our extension coaches are located, where our community coaches are located in blue, and then where there's overlap is the orange, where we have both extension and community coaches. So Marathon Kids is such a great program because it can be implemented in all sorts of settings. And being a coach allows you to implement your program in your own timeline. So I think our hope is that every county on this map will be filled in the next couple of years. I think that would be pretty cool.
It would be pretty cool. So the great thing about Marathon Kids is that it can be different in every community. It can look different. And there's many ways that this can be implemented in your schools. So one of the best ways that we've found, though, is in the after school programs. we help to build excitement and increase involvement with that after school program. And that can lead into the classroom setting for teachers if they're looking for brain breaks, or in the PE setting. And that can lead into this full school implementation or participation, where we can then reach out to community members or parents. It's a great way to engage parents then also. And so there's just a lot of ways that this can expand in your school, but it really has been great when we've started it in that after school setting. Online program that we're going to continue. It's been very successful, and it's a great way for us to be able to continue activity that's happening in communities where maybe a summer program isn't a fit in that community, but those students who are participating in after school or in their classroom or PE can join us in the summer program and continue to receive that motivation from a coach, and shout outs from the leadership team, and hear from peers what's happening and other parts of the state. So we'll continue that online support in the implementation model for the after school or classroom community. Let me just oof. So that was we would try to be brief with what we were sharing, so that we could give plenty of time for questions. So unmute, or I have the chat open also. So
Beth, I was wondering if you have any coaches training coming up. Do you have some scheduled or to be scheduled? Or
yeah, that's an excellent. Mariah, go ahead.
Yeah, to be scheduled. We definitely have gained a lot more interest, just sharing out what Marathon Kids is about. So our list of people who want to be trained is growing and growing. And yes, we need to get another training on the books. We're still trying to determine, actually, we just started this conversation today, if it needs to be in this semester still of school, or if we should wait until the spring. So if you are interested in being a coach, if you could, on our next slide, I have my email address, but if you could just email me and let me know you're interested, and I will be sharing out the training dates that we get set up.
Mariah, do you want to just put your email in the chat also?
Yes.
Thank you.
I actually have a note for me to do that, and I forgot to do that.
One of the things that Alana was talking about is the kids are scanning their badges. And so we didn't go into great detail about how, like, the platform that we use and all of that. We do a lot of that. We're very in-depth when we do the coach trainings, but every student who enrolls and is a participant has a badge that with a QR code, and it scans on the app on your phone or the iPad, however you want to do that. And then we can run reports from that. So we can very specifically show that one student how many miles they've accomplished. And we can look at just what they've done for playing. Maybe you just have tag for 20 minutes, but we could look at all the miles that you've logged playing tag, which is really neat, I think, to show them, look how far you've come. And maybe running wasn't your thing and you didn't want to come and do something that was running, but you really enjoy the games that we play. And look how much you did just in those games. So that can be a way to encourage those students who think running's not my thing, but playing with my friends is.
I just want to congratulate you guys on this fantastic program. And, things were grim and scary in those first several months of the pandemic. So thank you for, hanging in there and putting all this together. And now, just as you were just describing with the badges and all the analytics that you're able to pull out of all this data, it's a really powerful program. So we'll do our best to continue spreading the word throughout the 21st century directors, because it's really a great program.
Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. That's such a great compliment.
Mariah and I will be, oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, I was going to say, I really like that the possibility of connecting with the school day too. So if you have a physical activity teacher in your building that wants to partner with you, that's a great opportunity, or getting families involved. We really like all of those aspects of it, and the physical activity, healthy lifestyle, and so on. So
That was a
thank you.
good segue, Kim, for what I was going to say. That Mariah, that's perfect. Mariah and I will be presenting at the Shape Nebraska conference in November also. And so that'll be all of the PE teachers. And so we're presenting this as an opportunity for it to be engaging in PE also. And how do we get parents to be interested in what's happening in PE? So I love the potential for parent engagement in this. That's something else that we have as a part of that, the dashboard that Marathon Kids has. And we should be clear, Marathon Kids is the national organization that makes that everything so easy for us, because they've created the digital platform where we can pull all of that data, but we can add parent emails in there if they want to be included. And so parents can be kept up to date with what their student is doing, and also logging miles at home and sharing that back with you in the after school setting or with the PE teacher. So we can really get a full picture of what's happening outside of school and inside. So I love that piece, because I know parent engagement is always the tricky piece. How do we, there's a lot of demands on adults' time. So how do we get them engaged with the school setting and in different ways? So there's potential here. Oh, and I'm reading the chat also. And it says they let kids walk also. And so that is something that we emphasize, that it doesn't have to be running, it's walking. It's usually when I have the younger kids, even middle school, I do the same thing with them, like, feel your heart. And are you breathing heavy? Because this is what we want. We want your heart to be, heart rate to be elevated. We want you to be breathing heavy. And if that happens because you're speed walking, great. If that happens because you're skipping, or you decided you wanted to bear crawl, however you want to get your miles. Okay, so Jan asked, if the program is not offered at a student's school, can the parents sign up and participate as a family? So Mariah?
Yeah, sure. I would love to direct that person to our Facebook page, which is Nebraska Extension Marathon Kids. So we have a Facebook group, and you can keep up with everything that we're doing with NEMK on that. But also a parent could become a coach as well if they wanted to. And then they could have, their family is their club. So that's an option as well. There's plenty of opportunity for this program. But anyone can join our Facebook group just to keep up, see what we're up to. We share a lot of our information through social media. So feel free to join us if you'd like.
Elena, I love your in the chat that your kids skip and do cartwheels and wheelbarrow, run backwards, kick a ball. That sounds like a lot of fun.
I think that's something that we didn't mention, but we do incorporate a lot of, we also use the Catch curriculum. And so the Catch Kids Club, so that's the after school curriculum. And there are so many games and activities that are included in that also. So we can lead a structured game. I tend to lean into, like, my favorite is noodle tag. I just love noodle tag. Because the noodles are different than just playing regular tag. And I can add more activity into it. So you can't just tag somebody and drop the noodle and run away, or you can't get tagged and just pick it up and hit the next person. There's an activity. So I incorporate an activity. If you get tagged, now you have to do squats or lunges or something so that it gets that other person to get away. So there's not that tag back. But there's lots of ways that we can get more activity into those games. But that would be something also as Nebraska Extension coaches that we bring in Catch Kids Club resources as well.
Are there any more questions, or anybody else on the webinar that's been participating? Well, thank you so much for all of your work to develop this curriculum and share it with after school. We just love promoting the healthy lifestyle after school, physical activity, and what a great opportunity. No cost, is that true?
That is true.
Great. So it's a perfect fit for our after school programs.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. This was our first Get Connected, our first Stay Connected webinar since our Get Connected conference. So we appreciate you being our kickoff webinar for the new upcoming school year and series. Thank you so much. And Extension is a partner with Get Connected and with Stay Connected. So we love featuring your work and your curriculum.
Well,
Thank you for having us.
Yes,
Thank you.
thank you.
Now, our next webinar is October 20th at noon Central Time. So please mark your calendar, and you can check the Stay Connected website for any upcoming webinar updates that are available. So unless there are other questions, thank you for your time today, everybody. Thanks, Alana, Mariah, Beth, appreciate it.